I was listening to music one day, and then it dawned on me, like, what is music? Sure, it's something we download on our phones when our favorite musician drops new music, but when you really think about it, like, what is music? Like, music is just a bunch of sounds that are put together to make songs, and then songs are put together to make albums, but I was thinking a little bit deeper than that. When you really think about it, music is just sound waves that travel to our brains, and then our brains process them, and we decide if we like the music or not. I find it crazy how two people can listen to the same song, but it's up to them and their mind and their brain to decide whether they like the music or not. When you think about it, you don't decide if you like something, it's your brain that does that, and you relay, in a sense, what your brain is telling you. I didn't decide to like chocolate chip cookies. I tried them one day and they tasted good, and then I started eating them more. My brain was the one that decided I like chocolate chip cookies or this Kanye song, but I don't like this Kanye song. It's pretty weird. But back to music, it's crazy how we've created this language for people to read, write, and play music. Like, we created sign language and braille and things like that. It's crazy how we created this whole language where, without even talking, somebody that plays piano can look at these sheets of paper with music notes on them, and they know exactly what to play, the tempo, the key, everything. And they didn't even have to talk to the person that gave it to them. But then again, I guess it's always like that, because they could give you something that they wanted typed up, and they didn't even really have to say anything, and you would know, provided it was in the same language. But you know what I mean. Like, there are languages that we speak, but then there are languages that we read and compute in our brains, and our fingers know what little black and white buttons to press on this thing that we call a piano. It's pretty remarkable. Music can take you back to almost, any time. I said in my internet video, which you can watch up here, that YouTube is the closest thing that we have to a time machine. But when you really think about it, music is like that also. So I just wanted to pop in here real quick. I'm on the Modern Warfare 2 soundtrack video. And this person down here, where did it say? This person right here. Oh yeah, 17. It said music is the closest thing that we have to time travel. So, I'm glad that somebody else feels the same way that I do about, music and stuff like that. And Josh Davidson right here said, Hans Zimmer is downright one of the best composers ever. So, I'm glad that people share the same, opinion and feeling that I do for music. Anyway, back to B-roll. Just, without the video, kind of, if you're just listening to the music itself. Anyway, like, if you're watching this video, you're probably in your late teens to early 20s, so your parents experienced or got to experience Michael Jackson. Like, my mom said that one of the things that she wished she did was that she wished she went to see Michael Jackson before his unfortunate passing in 2009. Anyway, as I was saying, if your parents listened to his music, they could put one of his songs on and be taken back to when times were simpler and all they did was probably go to work, go to concerts, and watch TV. There were no phones to be scrolling on or anything like that. And if you were lucky enough to have a computer, there was barely any internet, I don't think. So you're probably playing Pac-Man or Pong or something like that. But it's crazy how we can listen to these sounds put together from however many years ago and be instantly teleported back to that time. Like, I can put on this Kanye album right now and be taken back to when I was in middle school listening to Graduation. I can put on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy and be taken back to high school and, remember walking home and listening to it. I could even say the same thing for this album from Kendrick Lamar, Section 80. I remember this exact spot where I listened to this album at. It was when we were walking home one day, and I remember I had my BlackBerry Curve, and that was the first time I ever listened to a Kendrick Lamar album, and I've been a fan ever since. Speaking of Section 80, this album just had its 10-year anniversary, which is crazy to think about. Not because it's 10 years old, but also because I've been listening to Kendrick Lamar for 10 years now. That's why these two albums have a very special place in my heart for me, because most of my friends listen to this music and we'd rap along to the songs all the time. So, just like I was saying before, music can take you back in time, in a sense. The thing about music too is that it creates such a dynamic when you talk about creating things also. Like, think about your favorite movies of all time. For me, it's Interstellar. but I can't imagine the movie without the music. Like, it wouldn't be anywhere near as good without the music. Same thing with Inception or almost any movie. But it's not only limited to movies, it's like that for anything that contains music. Think about your favorite video game of all time. My favorite video game of all time is Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, and those games had some of the best soundtracks I've ever listened to. And I'm sure you have your own, but that's such a sick thing about music. It adds this dynamic that you can't really explain, but it makes what you're listening to or what you're watching or what you're consuming so much better. One other thing that I wanted to touch on in this video is the state of mind music puts me in, but not talking in the sense of nostalgia. Like, when I'm vacuuming or mopping or doing laundry, like, my music is always on. And sometimes, like, I get into this thing where it's like everything stops around me and it's just me and my music, and it's like I'm in the zone, as weird as that sounds. Like, I start singing along to the song, and it's almost like I'm doing it with the expectation that people are watching me, and it's almost like I'm in a music video. I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's just something that I do, and I guess you could say that's how much I love music. Like, I love it so much that when I hear good music, I immediately go and download or I listen to it. You can look at my Spotify downloads. The Interstellar soundtrack is there, Inception is there, Modern Warfare 2 is there. I mean, basically anything by Hans Zimmer, but I don't discriminate. There are many good composers out there and just general musicians. It's also amazing how much music can bring everyone together. Like, it doesn't matter what race you are, people from all walks of life like music. People from all parts of the world like music. Musicians can go on world tours, and people from wherever they go will give their hard-earned money to go and watch their favorite song or album be played live by their favorite musician. All because of this thing that we call music. There's something for everybody in music too. It doesn't matter where you come from, you can find something that you like. And that goes for creating music too. Like, I've seen these two guys from the UK that are named Pete and Boz, and they make like drill music. But if you look at them, you'd say like, what? Like, these are two old white guys. Like, what business do they have making music like that? But you look at some of the comments on their videos and people love it. Like, that's what's so sick about music. It doesn't matter what race you are. If you make good music, people are gonna like it and support you regardless of your color or race or where you come from. Like, I'm not gonna lie, when I think of rap, I think of a genre dominated by black people. Kendrick Lamar, Kanye, J. Cole, all these guys. But then when you really think about it, this is how you know that your race doesn't matter in music, because you have people like Eminem. And then what was that guy's name that Eminem dissed? Machine Gun Kelly. Like, sure, he might not have as many fans as Eminem, but there are plenty of white rappers. And I'm not into rock music or anything like that, but I'm willing to bet that there are black people that make rock music or Asian people that make rock music. And on top of all that, there are many people that say Eminem is the greatest rapper and he's white. So it just goes to show that in music, your skin color doesn't really mean anything. It's the quality of your music. Music plays a huge role in my life, and this video is just one that I've wanted to make for a while, and I hope you enjoy the gift of music as much as I do. And as always, thanks for watching.